What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Currently just sat in the car, well, obviously, as you can tell, waiting for my pre-workout to kick in just before my final lifting session of the day, third squat session of the week, hopefully, because I have an update. In the last video I said I had an issue with my lower back QL glute area. This week I may have slightly pulled my hamstring or tweaked it slightly. I was doing my first session of interval running of 2 minutes on, 1 minute off for 10 rounds, and after the 6th or 7th go through, I felt my hamstring just seize up and go quite tight. So we're gonna test out the squat today. Doing box squats the day after, it felt alright, so we shall see how it goes. And I also did a run yesterday and my calf went tight as well on the same leg, so yay. Should probably rest, but being the idiot I am, I'm gonna still try and squat, see what I can do. And also, if you can't tell, I have a new lens, so I can use my camera for close-up shots like this, whereas normally it would be on the 18mm, which would be there, which for me is too far zoomed in to hold the camera in one hand. So I bought the 10 to 18mm lens, and there we are. You can see more of my mug going for the Forrest Gump look. I'm going to get out of this car because the temperature is rising. It's currently around, what's the temperature? It's currently 19 degrees in the car and probably around the same outside. So it's going to be a nice sweaty session. Now, on the topic of tech and gadgets, I am very much considering buying a drone, or treating myself to a drone, looking at the DJI Mini 3 again, so I can get some cool shots of when I go away next week. Got a nice little family holiday over to Cricket. So that'll be a nice week there. Obviously the girlfriend has come along too, and we'll hopefully get on some nice hikes if the weather is good. So maybe in the next video or two you'll see some cool drone shots. But with that, I'm also thinking about upgrading to a MacBook Pro. Again, at the minute all I've got is a Chromebook, which at the time was what I needed for obviously my coaching, because I use a lot of Google Sheets and just basic apps like Train Heroic and whatnot. But now I'm thinking, because I want to get into more editing, get the drone for some cool shots. I've always wanted one anyway, so I might treat myself to that. And I'll be also able to edit on the go. So I'll be able to get out content a lot sooner or more consistently, so every sort of couple of days. Because at the minute it's sort of once a week editing here and there. Obviously I've only got my PC to edit because of the software that I use. I don't think my Chromebook is, but I don't know. I know it isn't powerful enough for what I want to create, so that's my plans for any new tech. If anyone's got any suggestions, leave them below. If there's another decent drone out there. I like the DJI because it just seems, the reviews seem pretty good, and it's got the tracking, so I'll be able to track myself, get some cool shots of my running training. Again, just like making sort of mini montages and whatnot. I say whatnot a lot. I'm going to try and not do that, because I like sort of the small mini training montages with a bit of music over the top. But if there's any cheaper drones that still have the tracking and the distance and all the jazz, leave them in the comments below. And also any laptops that are good for video editing that aren't as expensive as a MacBook Pro, that would be much appreciated. Now, having just done a warm-up, the usual warm-up, the actual tightness is somewhere different than what I thought it was. I thought it was that really sort of central hamstring, but doing the pancake stretch where my legs are wide and I'm rotating, it's sort of deep into that groin hamstring area, so that's not too good, but it feels good squatting, so let's get onto the bar. So still sticking with the glute activation work, because I feel that's massively helped since introducing that back in. That knee cave is no longer much of an issue. I just feel my hamstrings and glutes doing most of the work. Let's see how that hip feels. Feels okay. But so it's just the empty bar, so we'll see what it's like under load. But today's weight is 80% of Monday's triple, which I believe was 160. So today's working weight, I believe, is, going, that's terrible, 128, so we'll go for 130, just round up a bit. So 130 for 3 sets of 5. Hopefully it shouldn't be much of an issue because that's still relatively light, but I may do these squats and not do any more lower body accessory work just to allow that to rest a bit more. Again, like I said, because I'm an idiot, I'm still sort of training through this issue. Maybe that blood work will help to it, get the blood flowing through it, get it working, see if it helps. If it doesn't, I'll just take some more time off, which I was planning to do anyway when I go on holiday. Just taking that week off lifting and just doing some light runs, swimming, allowing the body to rest and then hitting it hard when I come back. So I'll have, I think, 10 weeks or 12 weeks before Hyrox. Now, I'm not sure I've shown this stretch before, but this is what I'll be using to release my lat. Just getting that bar right into the armpit, right with that lat joint to the shoulder. And just letting it sort of rock back and forth. You can grab yourself a dumbbell or kettlebell and let it rock back and forth. But because this is very tight, as you can tell, I'm just using my body weight, and that seems to do the trick at the minute. And I found this really helps loosen off that shoulder so I can get a full grip on the bar with this right hand. Or it's what feels like a full grip. Whereas when you look in the videos, you probably see me half a hand bend backwards, but there's no pressure on the wrist, which is what you don't want when you're squatting heavy. There is still slight shoulder discomfort when racking the bar back in and getting out from underneath, but there's no pain getting into position, which is progress, for me anyway. Here's a super useful tip that I picked up last week on Garmo's on Instagram. If I remember in time, I will tag them in the description below. But to get knee sleeves on, especially now as it is sweaty knee sleeve season, you fold the bottle up about an inch or so, and then fold the top a little bit over that, and then from there get your fingers right underneath the whole sleeve, and then pull up as high as you want it. So for me, that's just right onto the knee, and then just simply unfold. And since doing this, I've actually been able to get my knee sleeve slightly higher than normal, which just adds a little bit of extra. Could be placebo, but to me it added like a little extra something to the squat. If that's just mental gains, I don't know, but I'll take them. All my quads are finally growing, but I doubt that since the scale is dropping. But yeah, there's a little quick tip on how to get your knee sleeves on in this sweaty weather, and just realised these absolutely stink, so they need a wash.
Now honestly, this felt like the best squat session in quite a long time, and I think I'm finally starting to have a rhythm with squats again. I also feel all the glute activation work I've recently been doing in my warm-up is definitely paying off, as my hips feel nowhere near as tight as they have been, and I actually feel my glutes getting involved in the squat, so they're actually doing their job. And I wasn't playing around with my belt position, as it hasn't been sitting quite in the right spot. If I put it up in my belly area, I feel it just gets in the way and stops me hitting more depth as my thighs get in the way, and my back just wants to arch to counter that. So I've been putting it in almost the same position as my deadlift, which is just slightly on the ribcage, or slightly just below, but I'm feeling that's the sweet spot. I'm not sure if it's the angle, but my left hip on this set looks quite a lot lower than my right. My body looks slightly twisted around, but the weight felt pretty even throughout the set. But it's something I'm definitely going to work on with mobility wise, and just keep an eye on it going forward. And on my third sessions, I've added in a shoulder variation. So today I went for the Arnie press, as my goal now is to build some bolder shoulders, as I feel they've been neglected for a long time since injuring my shoulder many years ago. Although my shoulder's been feeling a bit funny all week, and as I was rolling up, my shoulder was creaking and popping on the warm-up set, which didn't sound great at all because it was right to my ear. But there was no pain, so I just sort of carried on, which I'm guessing no pain is good, right? Now, I know I'm not afraid to say that I love training my glutes, and I've seen these rotational split squats quite a few times on social medias, so I thought I'd give them a go. So set up as you would do for a normal split squat, but as you come down, you want to rotate your torso towards that working leg. Now at the bottom of the rep, your hip is going to be put into more internal rotation, which adds more tension and more of a stretch onto the glute max, which I definitely felt getting more work throughout the movement, and felt them for a few days afterwards. So you want to grow some glutes, add these into your training, or if you want to spice up your regular split squats. And like you always recommend with unilateral work, take a minute or two between sides before going again. Followed by a couple of sets of ring rows just to help balance out all the pressing and get some body rowing in. Finishing the session with a set of incline dumbbell curls using a training method known as Myoreps, which has recently become popular. Now, Myoreps is a training method that is focused on maximising muscle growth and strength gains, combining high intensity and rest pause sets. The aim of the method is to stimulate the muscle effectively while minimising training time and managing fatigue. So the protocol goes like this. Perform one set of exercise for 8 to 15 reps, leaving 1 rep in reserve. This is the activation set. After this set, take a short rest of 5 to 15 seconds to allow some fatigue to leave, but still keeping it activated. Before performing a series of rest pause mini sets of 2 to 5 reps, but limiting them to no more than 5 sets, or when you can no longer complete a Myoreps set. Myoreps can be applied to a variety of exercises. However, you want to emphasise proper form, so I'd recommend keeping them to smaller, more isolation exercises. And just like with any exercise, progressive overload is needed to still stimulate muscle adaptation and growth.
Hello, mister. Oh, hello, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Oh, we can't go outside. I've got him. I want to get some food first. You waiting for a treat? Do you want a treat? He sits there and he wants a treat, so you've always got to oblige. Let's open this. Just have a little pigs and blanket. Here we go. Take it. Good boy. Go on. Okay, that's the session done. That's probably my shortest session I've done in a long time. I think maybe because I was a bit rushed, because I like bit rushed because I've got to quickly take Odin out for a walk, have some food, and then head back into work. Head back to the gym to work tonight, coaching the sessions 5 to 8. But like I showed you yesterday, not yesterday, previous vlog from the farmers market, I've got some sticky toffee pudding to finish off, which is delicious. This was just the traditional one, which is very nice. Again, I can open it with one hand. I need to get used to vlogging, holding the camera with one hand and doing stuff with the other. Again, there's about a quarter of it left. Again, that sauce is very nice. I'm going to enjoy this, have maybe a sandwich or a wrap, and then that'll do me until dinner tonight. I also need to feed him because he looks starving. Hungry, mister? Yeah, I think he's hungry. But that's going to wrap up today's video. Again, just a short training vlog. Let me know if you prefer these training vlogs. I think I've already asked this, but I'm asking it again. Let me know if you prefer these short training vlogs, or you prefer the longer ones with like the little edits, music over, that kind of thing. Maybe with a bit more information in. And hopefully over the next few vlogs I will get more outdoorsy stuff. Got a few things planned when we are away, weather permitting. Go on a few hikes, outdoor activities. I want to do football, golf. See, I've still got me left foot. I haven't played for, getting on for 8-9 years now. So see, I remember how to kick a ball. But you're gonna end the year, eat some food, shower, change, dog walk, all that, back to work. As always, if you've enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you are new, smash the subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.